Well, greetings and welcome to today's devotion here at Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Devin and I serve at Romeo UMC, and I'm so glad that you're able to take a few minutes, take a little time out of your day to spend here with me today. And that's actually where my thoughts have been at here today. They've been thinking about time, thinking about the past, thinking about the future. And as I was preparing, I was wondering how many of you out there have a favorite time travel movie? There are, of course, lots of different options out there to be sure. We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger in his breakthrough role as the Terminator, or maybe a throwback to young Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We've, of course, got the comic book juggernaut that is Marvel Studios and their recent mega hit Avengers Endgame. And of course, we can't talk about time travel movies without hitting upon the gold standard that is Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. But all these movies, they all revolve around similar story beats, don't they? Even if they go about them in different ways, go different directions with them. They all deal with the ramifications of traveling to the past. What happens if that past is changed? In the case of my friend Marty McFly, what happens if he accidentally disrupts his parents' meeting and they're falling in love, if he gets in the way of that? Well, at least according to his movie, what happens is you begin to fade from existence, almost robbing the world of his rocking performance of Johnny Be Good. And those time travel movies, they make for entertaining stories. And that's why the few that I just listed, they're but just a small sample of the movies and books and stories that use time travel as a plot device. This week I saw a tweet. It came from an account that was comically named Shower Thoughts. I thought that's a great name for a random thoughts tweeting account. It really made me stop and think. The tweet read, "When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small. But barely anyone in the present really thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small." Wow. I mean, wow, right? Isn't that right? Every one of those time travel stories that I mentioned, every one that you can think of, they deal with the ramifications of going to the past and how even the smallest little action, the smallest little change can result in a radical difference in a future point at a future timeline. Why then don't we ever consider it the other way? Why don't we think and acknowledge that we have the option? We have the option to make small changes right where we are, right here today. And those small changes, those small acts of kindness or love or grace, they can result in a radical change in the future, in someone else's life, in the life of our church, the life of our country, the life of our world. We don't have to go and invent the flux capacitor or whatever other MacGuffin a story creator comes up with to travel to the past. We can start right here today. We can change the future for the better if we make the choice to start with the small changes that we can influence right here and right now. And right here, right now, here at Romeo, we are working our way through the book of James. So I'm sure it's not by chance that I came across that tweet, and within probably 24 hours of reading it, I also found myself reading in the fourth chapter of James. So let me read this for you here. It's James chapter 4, verses 13 to 17. "Come now, you who say, 'Today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a town and spend a year there doing business and making money.' Yet you do not even know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, 'If the Lord wishes, we will live and do this or that.' As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Anyone, then, who knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, commits sin." Now, I'll be the first to admit I'm a bit of a planner. I like to make plans for today, tomorrow, next week, next year. I'm guilty of that. I like to have a plan. And these words from James, they challenged me a little. But at the end of the day, I don't think that James was specifically condemning those who make plans. Instead, I see it, and this is no shock coming from James. I see it as James challenging the believers to not fall into the trap of only planning for the future at the expense of the present. To recognize that we do not know what tomorrow will bring, so we need to make the most out of today. And we make the most out of today by seeking God's will, seeking God's wishes, as James put it. We seek to make a difference, even a small difference today, because we don't know the ramifications of that small gesture. We don't know how big of a difference it could make in the future. What small thing can you do today? When you seek God's will and God's way, there's no telling how you might be able to radically alter the future by doing those seemingly small things. Let us continue to work to make a difference in the future by doing what we can with today. And until next time, my friends, stay safe, take care, and God bless.